episode 2. Sit and spin, broadcasting out of the city with the break dick. We're here. Actually, I'm just here. It's only a solo episode today. A bunch of these will probably be solo episodes. Just gotta get through quarantine here. We'll eventually get, I don't know, other people on once this gets kicking around. If people get interested, the concept takes off. Whatever. Today we're doing Billy Joel the Stranger, 1977 release. I gotta be honest, I don't think I've ever heard this album before. This is the first time I've heard this album. I'm sure I've heard, I'm sure I heard it on a road trip or something like that. I've definitely heard a bunch of the songs off of here. In between listening to it and sitting down to record, just kind of poked around the internet. What do they have to say about it? Apparently it was 70 out of the top 500 albums of all time, according to Billboard. But, can Billboard be trusted? We all know. Current controversy with Billboard. Were they cooking it up back in Billy Joel day? But yeah, this is Billy Joel's The Stranger. I enjoyed it. Top to bottom, probably why it was received so well, why everybody loved it, why it's a highly rated album. I'm going to go with the flow on this one, obviously, but, man, definitely had some good times with it, man. So I was sitting back, just listening to it, starting to read some of the lyrics and starting to envision some of the things of what's going on. That's what I really like about sitting with a record, is like that you get to unplug and just kind of, you get to have your own visual journey in your brain over what's going on with these lyrics. It's too good. That's the best. It's not streaming. It's not click, bam. I got to sit here, change it up quick. No, you're unplugged. You get as much information as the album gives you. So going into these albums, a lot of these albums blind, I got a corny picture of Billy Joel looking professional and everybody else not on the back of this album here in this Italian restaurant. You see him looking at this pillow on the front of it here with this mask on. I don't know nothing. That was like The Stranger. I figured some kind of love songs or something would be on here. I picked this album. Well, I didn't pick this album, I should say. My pops picked this album. Between episode 1 and 2, definitely a big gap. But, what should I do for episode 2? Who should come over for episode 2? Should anyone come over for episode 2? Should I just sit down and do an episode by myself? Well, this is what I got. So he texted me back with a handful of albums and said, "Hey man, just go to the Discogs for the show. Check out the collection." I said, pick a couple records. Pick something. He's a clown, so he definitely said Kenny G, do Kenny G, which I didn't even have to say no. He just didn't do it. No Kenny G. So he gave me this one. He gave me a Harry Chapin album. He gave me Jackson Browne, classic Jackson Browne album. But The Stranger, Billy Joel. Oh, come on. I haven't heard that all the way. I'm more or less like Billy Joel, but I can't say that I've sat with it. So this one I sat through all the way. Loved it, man. Now, the opening riff, the Anthony song, I don't even know. I guess that was one of the hits. There was 4 hits on this one that I read. There was that. Let's see, let me grab the album. Trying to use my eyes. So Anthony's song was a hit. Just the Way You Are was a smash hit. Obviously, Only the Good Die Young. There was another one on here. Maybe it was She's Always a Woman. Maybe it was Anthony's song. Maybe it was Moving Out. I don't know which one of those was a hit. But the riff in that reminded me of like a Baker Street type riff. It just like, I kept hearing it. I was like, I've heard this before. This brought me immediately to a place. So it's not like I haven't heard the album before, but that's why I keep thinking, like, maybe a road trip. Maybe I sat through this on a road trip, and this is just a new journey with it, sitting in this beanbag, trying to do a podcast. Let's see, but I definitely like that. Now, there was definitely a loud motorcycle outro on that track where I was just wondering, is that what he was up to? Old Billy Joel just Nothing about this motorcycle, this whole album. The Italian restaurant, obviously for this Italian song. We'll get to that, but the boxing gloves is like the most macho part of this whole damn album. So that log motorcycle outro. I guess I don't know Billy Joe that well, but he must have really loved that motorcycle because that was just not where I thought that was ending up. Oh my gosh. But it comes from this big bouncy song, this great opening song, get you pumped, and then you get to The Stranger, which is like this sad, so sad, deep hurt, deep cuts track. And he goes so deep, but then he flips it right up with Just the Way You Are with like super deep love. So this man's a conflicted young man. Definitely 1977. Let me look that up here. I was gonna look up because he talks about this leather jacket shit. Yeah, in the Little Italy song, 1977 leather jacket. All right. See, a lot of this is going back in time. I know a lot of people could be listening to this like, yeah, I know where I was listening to this album because it was 98% critically acclaimed. Great. So people had this shit in their convertibles. Oh yeah, let me see if I can get a leather jacket. Even if I could get. Oh yeah. Okay. Cause it sounded like a Grease song all rolled into one on that shit. I wonder. Now I do gotta wonder how many times "Just the Way You Are" is played at weddings just all the time. I gotta ask a wedding DJ. I've only got like 2 friends that are wedding DJs, so I'll ask them like, "Do you get this one all the time? Is it a dead one? Maybe you're just doing like not good weddings." But that one just kept saying, "Oh, that's a wedding song for sure." Just the Way You Are. Scenes from Italian Restaurant, man, that was definitely a treat. Like I've never heard that before. And looking it up, apparently it's a mashup of 3 songs uh, that Billy wrote, and that kind of came out into this big song. He said he was inspired by it by the Beatles. So everyone draws inspiration from the Beatles. So here it is again, Beatles inspiration. But I loved. I think everybody that has some kind of Little Italy type story. If you've got a city or you've been to a city with a Little Italy, I've been fortunate to go to a few different places that have their own little what they call Little Italies. Florida says they got a Little Italy, which is just Florida's just a bunch of New Yorkers who retired from New York and now they're New York. So the whole thing's Little Italy, they think. But don't ask anybody from Florida that. They'll be mad. Ask someone from New York who's living in Florida that. But Little Italy recently, the opening of this song just kept painting. I went to this great. I went with my dad recently. We went right before the quarantine, right before everything got locked down. Me and my old man, we went down to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was a wonderful time. He had never been. I've never been inside. I've been there. I've been to that city for uh, concerts, for shows. It's a bit of a trek, but hey, sometimes it's a great stop. And sometimes that little house of blues in that city is, not a crazy sold out show. It's a small enough, intimate enough room. It's a great live venue. That would be one of the things I would definitely recommend. Of the very few things I would recommend from that city. But Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we wanted to go down there, and one of the days we're down there, we did Rock and Roll Hall of Fame all day, and we ate at a little, we ate at Aladdin's Bakery, however you want to call it, uh, in Ohio for breakfast. We did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame all day. It was such a great time. Probably do it again. Yeah, I definitely would go back and do it again. Even though I kind of know it's there. I'd like to go when they're having a new event. But uh, it was such a good time. We went one of these nights to Little Italy, like right outside of Cleveland. Uh, we spent a whole day just looking for records and running around and grabbing records from different stores, and it was a real wonderful time to go away for a weekend. We'll talk about it on the podcast sometime. But all I kept thinking of was the time that we went to this Italian restaurant there. I should shout it out, but I should have looked that shit up while I was in between listening to doing that. But Cleveland, Little Italy was so good. The food was amazing. They really it wasn't as laid back as this song though. This song painted this a bottle of red for you, a bottle of white for me. You know, we didn't drink. I had a veal, probably had a veal scallopini. He had something else. I don't know what he had. But then they give you a bowl of pasta because that's just what everybody gets. So that comes with every meal is a bowl of pasta. Let's see here. Cleveland, Little Italy. I want to shout out this place because it was so fucking good. It was, they fed us more or less really fast. Got us out of there. We didn't have to, I like that. I don't like having to sit around. If I go to a place that's got dim lights and that's what I know what's going on, if they're going to be taking their long ass time, I might not stay. I might order that shit to go. I like eating at home. Unless I'm trying to be out, you know what I'm saying? But let's see here. Oh, the restaurant's here. Oh, La Dolce Vita. That's what it was. Oh, my goodness gracious. That shit was so delicious. Nope. That's a lie. That was a place we were trying to go to, but it was super busy that night. So we went to Trattoria on the Hill. So fuck La Dolce Vita. Super busy ass. We went to Trattoria on the Hill. If anybody is remotely close, definitely get that. Keep them in business. But the whole beginning of that song was that place to me. Walking around there, getting little rainbow cookies, just enjoying they were playing, hand organs and Italian music through the streets. It's like early March. It's cold as shit. Walking around there. Oh, God, that was such a good time. And then he backed that up with Vienna, which I was like, was Billy Joel just in Italy writing some of these? No, he wrote these, he recorded it over 3 weeks, according to the internet, but he must have had some inspired trip from Vienna because he's back-to-back Italian songs. And then they got this corny Italian thing here on the back, this corny picture. Come to find out, this picture's at a place called, it's not the Macaroni Grill, but it's something macaroni company. But the inspiration for the Italian song comes from this place that where he met up. The way that this record got published, he was about to get tossed off Columbia apparently, and is even though the record that came out before this was good, the record before this wasn't hopping, it was okay. This one saved his butt. He didn't want to go with canned actors. I wouldn't say canned actors, but canned musicians. Hey, there's features on here that even though they are good, and I pulled them out of the song, damn, that is so good. Who is that? And I want to go look them up. They end up having not a lot of features on here, but the ones that are on here perfectly shine because apparently the last 3 albums, they had we got a session drummer, session bassist. We know these guys, they're with the label, they're locals, whatever their affiliation is with that, even whether it's their reputation or not. Whereas apparently on the last album, he started playing with some of these guys, Billy did, and he brings them on for this record, and they play more jam style, which is great. But then he links up with what is this? It says A&R, even though it says Columbia, it should say, where is it at on this record? Oh, it's on the inner sleeve. I think it's A&R Records. And A&R Records, had Peterson Cotty dropped that on. I like that guy. This is such a great guy. I think Paul Simon was on there. It's probably one of the sounds that are real similar. There's so many people. I'm just blanking right now, but A&R Records had a bunch of people on there. But that was the thing, is he wants to play these jam sessions, and he has this great jam sound for all these songs, but then all of a sudden I'm getting down here to, what song is this? I wrote this shit down in my book. Ralph McDonald on those drums. Get it? Oh my God, this song, get it right. Those drums and the bass line of that just stood out so well. And then I find out that Paul Simon doesn't even want this motherfucker on the track. Like he's like, all right, you know, I want to do what I want to do. I don't want it to sound like my last albums. I want a different sound, you know. And then the part that I like best about that song, fuck the lyrics, fuck the whole theme and everything, that damn hook. It's so good. And that drummer, Ralph McDonald. I'm glad he got in on this. I'm glad the artist doesn't always have to say. Sometimes the producers know what's up, man. You got to listen to your producer sometimes. Not all the time. We've seen some fucking train wrecks because of that. Man, this one definitely obviously stands up. I love it. I'm not going to sit here and ramble for an hour with nothing. Let's see if I got anything else in this book here. Wrap this shit up. It'll be a 20-minute podcast. I don't even care. Let's see. Pow, pow, pow. What else I got in the book? Oh, yeah. That Ralph McDonald one. Let's see. To get it right the first time. Had a cowbell outro. I was thinking, you know, maybe the Christopher Walken thing had come out at that time. You know, just heavy cowbell on that one. The only thing I was disappointed in was the album's ending. Everybody Has a Dream is great. It's got backup singers. Bam! We're signing off. The album's closing. It's great. And then all of a sudden, for the last, 15 seconds or so, you hear the Hammond all of a sudden come in just wailing, but just like on low. No good. That's so sad. I love hearing, especially on old records, the Hammond. It's just such a great sounding organ. But this is Hammond with no ass on it. Just little squawky Hammond. But it was great. Rank it what everybody else ranks it. Shit was fucking awesome. We'll see what I do for the third one. Let's wrap this up. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll bring out another episode hopefully sooner than this one. Bye.